absolutely sloshing back through this field now as well. Back over again. And now I believe we're going up that hill and to the village of East Farndon, where on the way I'll explain the next point of interest. This isn't really my greatest research of a route, to be honest with you. So that was the field I just explained. We were going to go up the hill, talk about why we were here, blah blah blah. Apparently I'm in this field, and I can see a gate at the end. That's just the top of the church there as well for East Farndon. So I am supposed to go this way. I just don't want to tread on crops really, but I don't see any angry farmers anywhere nearby, so I'll try my best to avoid. There's the stile that I should have climbed on to get to the Judith stone, which is pretty much opposite this slightly more of a line to walk up, so I'm going to walk up that. I've seen that radio tower a few times when I've been on walks nearby. I've always wondered what it was. That is the angle of this hill I'm walking up, by the way. It's a slightly steep one. And we made it. Small footbridge. Looks like it... Oh, it's not stable at all. I was going to say it looks like an old creek or something that's dried up. And cows. Of course. I've put my hat on for now, because the sun's already getting to my head. Yes, I'm still wearing a fleece. But I figured I don't want to get a burnt head, so the hat's on for the remainder. We're going over that field. Oh, should I do one of those? Hang on, let me angle it. Should I do one of those shots that like some people do when they're on like walking videos, where they walk away from the camera, and then I've just got to come back and get the camera anyway. Look, I'll do one of those, but I'll cut out the bit where I walk back, or maybe I'll just leave it in. Make a good thumbnail. That'll do, won't it? Maybe that could be the thumbnail. Maybe there isn't one, I don't know. All the cows are over this ridge. They were looking at me before, but I don't want to spook them. Oh, they have seen me. Oh, they're sitting down and there's calves. Okay. Again, I don't want to disturb them. I'm going to come up with a plan. Oh, there's a building over there as well that I hadn't noticed on the route. Okay. Well, I could go up there. My only problem is I don't know how many cows there are, so I don't want to walk right through the middle of them, or make all the effort of going up that hill there, and then there'd just be more over there. So I'll have a look at the map. I've made the decision to walk up the hill. Part of that being because the radio tower's right there, and I can get a closer look at it. But also I can just kind of see and gauge how many cows there are. Oh dear, they're moving. And if I can go around them, I will. I'm not going to go directly at them on purpose. All right, cow situation. They were all just in my way. I wanted to go to that corner. I don't think I was actually going through that gate. I think I'm going to this corner. If you saw that, there was a hare just then, that's why I stopped talking. I'm going to that corner, and then we're going up that hill. Just going to show you this view to my right if I can, just to get a good view. Look at that English countryside. Look at that. Right, that is my actual path. You can tell how little people are using these footpaths. I don't think I can go around that sort of corner there. So I think I'm going to have to do my best Tom from GeoWizard impression and just do my fleece up, roll my sleeves down and go through that bit. The stile looks broken on the other side as well, so we might get a bit brambled. Right, I'm through. I didn't film it because I had to use both hands, but it's still a public bridleway, and hopefully I've made that slightly wider for the next person who decides to walk right. I go right across this field. There's another fence there. It just got onto a road, so I have to be a bit careful. But we'll keep wandering. You can start to see those lines up in the field, the medieval ridge and furrows, which are really prevalent. Q lidar, maybe, for this bit. Q lidar are really prevalent in and around East Farndon in places. They've been really well maintained. So it's nice to see that you can see that from, not just from lidar and not just from sort of maps, as it were. You can actually see them a little bit in real life. Just been making my way through this field. I'm going towards the next sty, and I'm still following bridleways. But I've just seen a big 4x4 with a few people get out of it in the field just up there. Probably just doing work, but they looked like they were looking in my direction. Avoid the nettles for this sty. This does go pretty much out onto a road, so there's a lot of beeping coming up ahead as well. So we'll see. We're off into there. Not going past the creepy shack. I suppose this can sometimes be the reason why people aren't walking here. The footpath sign's fallen over. Oh, put my finger in the way. There you go. Look at these goats just chilling with this old abandoned tractor. Now, if I was GeoWizard, I know he'd be in there. I'm not quite so silly. I don't know if you can hear that. There's a car just like constantly beeping its horns up in the field over there, like back the way we came. I don't know whether they're beeping for the cows that we just walked past or what, but I've also realised I don't follow that path there. I go through that diagonal there. I think there's a stile or something down that way. I'm hoping a path's going to appear in front of me. Yes, it is. As if by magic. Right, I'm going to burn in this field, I think. Right, it's not overly windy. I am a bit sweaty, but I figured this was the best time to explain the second half of this and why we're going up to East Farndon. I'll cut in some bits of maps here as I explain. Some lidars and some old maps that I was looking at from sort of 19th century. Sorry, I'm going to be stopping and starting when I'm talking because this ground is really dry. I'm really having to watch where I step because it's created some big old gaps. Right, okay. So when I was looking at the old maps, I saw, in a similar way to the last time, when I saw that mark for a grave, I saw a mark for tumulus, just outside of East Farndon. And tumulus normally means a mound, a barrow, potentially some kind of burial was either found there or considered common knowledge to be there, whether or not it was excavated. And I did some research, and you guessed it, I couldn't find anything. So I thought, let's look on Google Maps, on Street View, see if there's anything obvious around, because it could have been that with a lot of these old barrows and tumuluses, or tumuli, maybe we'll go with that. But these tumuli, they have been ploughed over, whether recently or archaically, as it were, and they've been flattened to an extent. But the mark would have still been on the map for a little while. But when I looked on Street View, just outside of where the church is quite a prominent hump in the ground, barrow shaped. So it was enough for me to decide, let's have a walk. God, I am sweating already. Let's have a walk, let's have a wander, and let's see what it looks like from the ground. I mean, if there's anyone local that I can speak to and ask about it, I don't think anyone's going to know or be at all interested, unless I can somehow curry an interview with the priest of the nearby church. see if they know anything about it. But yeah, I couldn't find any record of it. I couldn't find any history to suggest that it had been excavated, or whether it had been marked as a tumulus, as a barrow potentially, because of the shape of the ground, and then just discounted. It's not in any of the Northamptonshire archaeological websites that I can see. I see no mention of it. So let's go and have a look. And again, I've walked across the whole field while I'm talking to you. Walking across that field was so unnecessary. The way I was going originally was across there. I need to be there. But for some reason I plotted a route to go diagonally across this field through the sun to that corner there, to then go back on myself. Come on. Get better at this route planning. It's because I'm following the bridleway route, that's why. So I just assume when I'm looking at it that I'm not going to be able to walk. But what was I thinking? I mean, the church is there. Of course I'm going to have to go this way. There is, I think, a bridleway that goes that way, but it goes towards like Marston Trussell and other villages, and that's not what we want. We want to go this way. This right foot is starting to ache a little bit now. That's where the blisters were, and I'm starting to feel a little bit of where they were. So I think I'm going to get to this gate, assess the situation. I think, you see that little gap in the hedgerow there? I think we go through there, which would be really pretty if we do. But yeah, I'm going to fuel up before we start the climb to East Farndon, as it were. It is about 500 foot elevation. I think I'm probably at about 150, 200 now. So it's only going up about 300 feet, but quite steep in places. You can see how steep it starts to get. So we'll assess. So here's one thing I hadn't encountered in the last walk. We saw them, but didn't have to go through a field with any horses, so we'll see how we go. I was just about to say they're completely unbothered by me, and then one did a really big whinny, so I am straddling a fence. Hey, cool shadow. And we're in next field, and I think we do go up this hedgerow. I'm just going to check the map. Whew. Halfway up, completely lost sight of that gap in the hedgerow just because of hedgerow, because of how steep this hill is. Could do a bit of backwards walking, I suppose. Hey, there's me. There's you. Hi. Let's take a minute just to catch my breath and just to enjoy that view, because again, it's stunning. It's almost a panoramic view of sort of the countryside. Keep zooming in, you can see all the way. I think that's Loughton. I think that's the seaport of Loughton, I'm not sure. You can see all the way over there. And our route takes us into Farndon and then back into town over there. Quite a ways to go, but apparently we've only got an hour left of this walk. That's with any detours as well. And there's a view of just how sweaty I already am. But the climb was worth it for the view, so I can't complain. Now there is an old fairy tale in parts of the UK that if you walk through a hedgerow gap, you may not come out in the same world that you entered. So let me know. There is actually, and I mean I could try and test this, there is a theory that if you throw a stick and you see it land on the other side, you're fine. Did you guys see that? It's so pretty though coming through here. It's probably my favourite little part of the walk so far. And then there's our little guide. There's the church tower.